Well, some of you probably can't remember that far. Before Revenge of the Sith, we never really got any customized clones, but then with that movie, we had some of the coolest clone commanders ever, like Cody, Bakara, and even Gree. Today I'll be looking at the multiple clones made by the art department that never made it into the final movie. First up, we have this concept Phase 2 armor, which like the final design was crafted to be a blend between Phase 1 clone armor and of course Stormtrooper armor, which it would later morph into. This piece by Finn Zhu shows a partially caped clone with a much different mask than what we would later see. You can tell here that rather than split the T-shaped visor into the two eye pieces and mouthpiece, like on the final Phase 2 design, with this one they kept the T-shape and simply made those pieces wider so that they would fit where the Stormtrooper parts later would end up being. Next up is Commander Faye, who was originally designed to be the clone commander on Seleucami and was named after Faye David, the Lucasfilm Art Department's supervisor. He led the 7th Legion clones, who we'll talk about later, at the Siege of Seleucami in Legends. Similar to the 7th Legion, he has this tan-brown color scheme and also was equipped with cold assault gear, which featured a hood, which is very unique to see in clones other than him and Keller, who is a story for another time. Red Commander Bly, also known as Commander Devis. So this guy was originally going to be the design for Commander Bly, and since the merchandise always makes their products as the movies are in production, this figure of Red Bly was made, but when Bly was given a yellow color scheme like the other 327th Battalion clones, and a visor as well, this guy was renamed to Commander Devis for the figure, but still exists in concept for the film. Bark Troopers. This is talking about the yellow Bark Troopers seen with Master Su Choi, who was an Alina Jedi that is in a scene flying a cancel on Kashyyyk in the movie for a brief moment, and basically he was in an action figure pack with him and a yellow Bark Trooper, which was never actually used in the movie, but as all of the toys are actually based off of things from the production of the film, it is safe to say that perhaps at one point an extended scene with Master Choi and some yellow Bark Troopers existed. Though I'm not really sure where this would have fit in, perhaps it was on Kashyyyk or somewhere like that, but we really do not know as far as my research can tell. They also appear in Star Wars Purge, which is the Legends debut of Master Su Choi as well, in this one panel here where their clones are looking for them and you have this red guy in front of them, but yeah. So another artist from the prequels was Warren Fu, who designed these guys called Skytroopers, which might take you back to that one Lego set which featured winged clones. Basically, this was the predecessor to the clone jet trooper from Clone Wars, which was considered for Revenge of the Sith and had a wingsuit with jets on it. Also, it looks like these characters would have spikes or hooks on their feet that, along with the thin visor, make this sketch look very similar to that of the Scuba Troopers from Clone Wars Season 4, Episodes 1 through 3. Which is like the water war and all the stuff on Mon Cala, in case you forgot. This artwork of Skytroopers shows a more sleek variant of them, inspired by the work of Warren Fu, but with standard Phase 2 helmets instead of these unique ones here. It also would appear that they might have missiles on their backs, which does feel like an homage to Jango Fett and his weapon systems. The Lagoon Trooper, on the other hand, is also made by Warren Fu, and shows these bulky troopers with the Republic insignia on their helmets, along with guns that look like AK-47s, and also ammunitions, bandoliers, breather tubes, and backpacks as well. They most likely would have been featured on either Kashyyyk or Utapau, or even possibly Seleucami, but definitely somewhere with a more humid and aquatic environment. Possibly even a separate new planet that we didn't see in the film, but it is a little bit unclear where they would have appeared at. Now, Flame Trooper-esque troopers, these are some Stormtrooper concept art pieces that show these troopers that look a lot like the Flame Troopers from Clone Wars Season 2, and we would get these many years later on, but it's not really clear what they would have been either. Perhaps Flame Troopers, or maybe they thought somehow this looked like a mix between Phase 1 clones and Stormtroopers. I don't really see how. So Stormtrooper Pilot, this is a concept for a Stormtrooper pilot, which probably means Clone Trooper Phase 2 pilot, and is by Sang Jung Lee. It basically looks like the Phase 2 helmet we got in the final movie, but with a clone mask covering the face. By the way, the final clone Phase 2 helmet was made to look like a mix between the Rebellion pilots and TIE fighter helmets from A New Hope, which is especially cool when you realize that the clones are fighting with the Jedi, just like the Rebel X-Wing pilots and Y-Wing pilots, but we're about to be working for the Empire, just like the TIE Fighter pilots, if you think about it. So, for the V-Wing pilots though, there is a look at them here, which shows what they would have looked like in the Coruscant scene at the end of the movie. Sang-Jun Lee also worked on another Stormtrooper variation, which had bandoliers and a more tactical look, which is similar to this other piece, which shows one that appears to have mortar explosives on his back. And for all this Revenge of the Sith concept art, basically whenever they refer to Stormtrooper, they just mean Phase 2 clone trooper, so that kind of explains that. Also, an AT-RT tank gunner was made into a figure and was designed for this movie, although not really ever seen in the film. Finally, we have some clone variations in this official picture from the making of Revenge of the Sith book, which I actually own, by the way. And in case you were not sure, this is the making of Revenge of the Sith book. Yeah, I haven't actually gone around to reading it yet because I've been read the Phantom Menace one. I'm starting to read Attack of the Clones, so I need to do that one too. But it looks pretty cool. I got some really interesting stuff in there, like a lot of behind the scenes like concept art and like the different deleted scenes that didn't make it in the movie and stuff, so it's pretty interesting. I definitely recommend it. We can see Phase 2 clones from each battalion. However, almost all of these were never featured in the film other than the 501st Troops, but even they look slightly different, where they had no white streak in the middle of the blue parts like these guys here. So for the 7th Legion Trooper, this is where Commander Faye's group is, and they had a brownish color scheme with a circle emblem on their chests. Also, here's a quote-unquote Utapau Trooper, which had blue dots, and another one with blue stripes, which is part of the 5th Fleet Security Troopers, and a combat engineer clone as well. Also a green 442nd Siege Battalion Trooper intended to be on Utapau in the movie. Lastly, you have this 91st Legion Standard Phase 2 Trooper, similar yet different to Neo and those BARC Troopers. This one figure pack for Revenge of the Sith has a clone with similar markings to the 7th Legion, but with red painting instead. I'm not sure who that's supposed to be. The only ones I might have missed are some Galactic Marines from Magito and Seleucami, as well as this pink Phase 2 Trooper with markings on his chest, similar to Commander Cody. It's got like the 3 things, just like him, so yeah. This is illegal, isn't it? Yeah. My bad. Oops. Guys, I might have just committed a felony. Anyway.
James Ash.
Why are you recording? Mad Max Furiosa. Let's get a quick look at this liminal space here, y'all. Ignore the random homeless person.
Entering an abandoned movie theater at 3 a.m.
Abandoned movie theater.
For 24 hours.
24 hours. Somebody had a retro do that. It's the wall, you can't, the forbidden theater wall.
I feel lost.
Maybe it's because you haven't shopped at DBBH store, which now has a brand new summer drop with 10 different products.
What?
Use code VaderWasRight for 25% off all products.
But anyway, that's it for this video. You can subscribe if you want to. Make sure to check out the merch drop that we saw earlier. At least look at the website. There are some really cool things like a clone graphic tee on there that says clone for life, so you might want to check that out. Also, consider becoming a member to support the channel, as that really would help me out and I can make more videos like this one. Also check out the live streams every Friday night that we're doing now, where I play some old Star Wars games like Battlefront 2 from 2005. Anyway, I post normal videos every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also shorts 2 times a day every day. But yeah, see ya.